Well, everyone, the Google Pixel 8 has officially came out, and if you purchase this phone, I can definitely tell you this is a very, very good device that you picked up. It's going to last a long period of time, and I'm sure you're going to have a really, really good time with it. If you're brand new to the Google Pixel phones, or if you have some experience with them, I will try my best to give a quick breakdown on exactly how to use this phone for the complete beginner. Starting off with the outside, you're getting a beautiful 6.2-inch OLED display, and it's a very good looking panel. It's 120 hertz, and you have a lot of capability with this display for sure. It's a whole punch display, and it's a very good looking phone, and this phone's going to be here for many years, so hopefully you have a good time using it. Now on the side of this phone, you can kind of see that we do have basically the top side, which really isn't anything, it's just have the microphone. On the left side, you have a basic SIM card tray right here, which we'll get into in a second. You have your USB-C port at the bottom, you have your volume buttons on the side, power button right up here, and you have nothing else basically for the rest of the body. On the back side, you have your glass back, which is nice, which has wireless and reverse wireless charging. You have IP certification, so it's fairly durable with water and like dirt and scuffs and stuff like that. You have your dual camera setup up here, flash, microphone, and that's kind of it. It's a pretty basic phone, fairly minimalistic with the Google logo right here. It's a very, very good looking phone, and I like this phone a lot. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do before you set this phone up is to insert your SIM card. Inserting your SIM card is very, very basic inside of your Google Pixel 8 or the 8 Pro, whichever one you have. You want to go and find the SIM card tray on the side of your phone. So if you're looking at the display, it's on the left side. If you're looking at the back, it's on the right side. And it's this little like SIM card tray right here. So what you're going to want to do is if I go and zoom in, you'll find that little hole on the side. If you want to insert your SIM card, this is the main way. You can also do an eSIM if you want. You want to find your SIM card tray, your SIM card tool that's usually within the box, and you should be able to find that little hole right here on the side of your SIM card tray, on the side of your Pixel 8, and you want to insert this right into the side of the phone. So it's a little hole. All you have to do is kind of click it into place like that, slide it in, don't put too much pressure, and the tray should be able to stick out. From there, you should be able to grab that tray just like this. You should be able to find it, and that's it. You can go ahead and insert your SIM card tray right in here. It's a nano SIM. And then whenever you're done and you have it in place, you can go ahead and slide it back. So find where that tray, basically inserts. Go ahead and find it. Go ahead and slide that bad boy back in just like this. And that's pretty much all you're going to have to do. From that point, your specific device should be good to go. You should be able to boot it up and your SIM card is now inserted in your Pixel 8. Now, if you want to turn your phone on, there's a few ways. You can see that I have an automatic display that basically turns on, but you can also turn on your phone by double tapping on the display. So you can double tap on the display like this to turn it on. What you can also do is you can click on the power button on the side. Now I've already went through this setup, like the initial setup of going through and adding my Google account. It's very basic stuff, it's very boring, I'm not going to bore you with all that information. But within the specific lock screen right here, you can see that this is what your phone will basically wake to every single time. If you can, change it in the settings, but for the most part, your lock screen will have your, SIM card stuff, your SIM card information up here, your Wi-Fi connection, your, battery life, all this other stuff in the top right corner. This is your camera. You have your time and all these other settings right here too, which you can modify in the settings application. Your notifications will come up in the center right here. So you will see your notifications that you normally will have, texts, messages, phone calls, all that stuff will be populated right here, just like how this notification is. If you have a fingerprint sensor set up, you can put your fingerprint sensor right there to unlock your phone. You can also just tap on this home button right here and it'll go and open up Google Home. So you can have that as a quick toggle. But if you're ready, you can swipe up and you'll basically come into your home screen. Now, your home screen will basically go ahead and have this basic panel to it. It's very similar to a lot of other phone panels if you've ever seen them. So what you can do here is you can basically have a very similar setup to your lock screen. So you can see at the very top, it stays stagnant with your status bar, time, everything like that. Here is where things kind of get configurable. You have the Google logo at the bottom. So this is like a search bar. It stays there as well as the dock. So you can go through and change between panels. And then you have your gesture bar at the bottom, which we'll get into in a second. Now, if you want to change these widgets, if you don't like certain widgets, you can hold down on that widget to move them. So you can click customize to move these widgets. You can also hold down on an empty panel to change your wallpaper, to choose different widgets if you want to add onto your main screen. There's lots of different things you can do. So I'd recommend just going through and kind of changing those out because that's a really, really cool thing you can do. Hopping back up though, you can go ahead and change these app icons by scrolling them over and changing them to a different page if you want to, or sliding them back, or creating new pages if you want. And you can drag and drop a app icon over another one to create folders if you really want to. That's another option that you really have there too. This dock always stays the same, so you can drag and drop applications into the dock if you want to. And that is that. It's a pretty basic thing. If you want to see all of your app icons though, you can swipe up from the bottom and you will see every single application that you have on your phone. So that is very basic. I like this a lot. So from here, you can do a quick Google search if you want to. You can also go through and see everything that you would normally see as you normally would. So you can see right here, it basically has all the information as it normally would. So you can have your different applications. You can have all these other things too. So this is where all your applications are housed, and that's another cool thing that you have. Now, if you want to get used to the gestures, let's say you want to go to the Google Chrome browser, let's say you want to go back home. Well, there's no home button, but what you can do is you can swipe up using that gesture and you can swipe back home. No matter what application you're in, if you swipe up, you will basically always come back home. Now, if you want to get into your split screen multitasking panel, if you want to split screen between applications, you can do that too within your recents panel. To get into your recents panel and to split screen multitask, what you want to do is you want to swipe up from the bottom and you'll come here. You can swipe out of applications if you want to. So if you want to close out of an app, you can just swipe up and delete it kind of. It's going to just remove it from memory. But if you want to split screen multitask, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and find an application that you want to do it on. So in this case, let's say I want to do it on Chrome. To split screen multitask is going to allow you to have an app at the top and the bottom. So to do this, what you want to do is you want to tap on that icon at the very top, and you're going to want to go and click on split screen. So tap on split screen, and it's going to allow you to choose a different application to actually split screen with. Now, not every app can be split screen, so keep that in mind, but a majority of them can. So if we use X, for example, we can have basically X at the bottom, and we can have Google Chrome at the very top, and that is basically how to do it. It's super cool. It really doesn't take too much time. You can change the middle bar up or down if you want to, depending on which app you want to have, basically taking up more screen. But that's another option that you have here too. It's super cool, and it's something that doesn't really take too much time here either. Now, if you want to get out of it, you can just hop out just like this, like going back home, and that's another thing. Now, if you want to do basic phone things, you can download applications via the Google Play Store. So you can search for an application by tapping up here. Using the keyboard that will basically pop up at the very bottom, you can search for whatever specific application that you want to and download it. You can use the phone call application to make phone calls. You can use the message application to make messages. So it's a lot of cool stuff here that a lot of normal phone people, if you've ever used a phone before, it's a lot of basic stuff like that. But another cool thing is basically being able to go through and using the top status bar. So swiping down from the status bar, you'll see this type of information. So you'll see normal stuff like new notifications here. You'll see some other stuff here that you can swipe out of. Swiping down once more, you'll get into this normal panel. This is your control center. So this is where you can kind of modify your brightness. You'll see some other information here. You'll see your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all this other stuff. Flashlight if you want to enable it. Another thing that I see a lot of people wanting to do though is screen recording on their Pixel 8 or Pixel 8 Pro. Now, screen recording is very basic and it starts within this panel. So what you're going to want to do is swipe to the side, and this is good practice of removing or deleting whatever screen toggles that you no longer want to use. You want to click on the screen recording toggle right here. So tap on screen recording, and it's going to bring you into this specific panel. So what you're going to want to do here on your Pixel 8 is you want to go ahead and click on record audio or show touches on screen. Now remember, we got into this panel by swiping down and then swiping down once more. So again, swipe to the side, click on screen recording, and then you can choose if you want to record audio or show touches on screen. Typically, I don't really record audio, but you can go and do it if you want to. And whenever you're done and whenever you're ready, you can click start. And as soon as you see that red dot at the very top, that means your phone is now recording. So you can go ahead and record your screen whichever way you want to. And now at this point, you're pretty much good to go. Now, if you want to stop the recording, there's two things. You either click on that, so you can't click on it, you have to swipe down from the top, and you have to click on this thing, and you have to click stop recording. So now, this particular recording will then go ahead and stop, and that is it. Now, if you want to see this recording, you can make your way over to your Google Photos application, which is where all your photos are going to be stored. So as soon as this thing pops up, you can do whatever. But if you want to see your recordings, sometimes you have to click on the library and click on movies, and you should be able to see that recording there. And from here, you can also, if you want to, you can share this out, you can edit this specific thing, or you can delete this video too. It's completely up to you no matter what you want to do here. Now, the other thing I'd recommend doing as soon as you pick up your Pixel 8, hopping out of here, is going into your settings application. So find your settings app, which is right here, and probably just get used to this panel. So just scroll through, get used to how this whole entire panel looks, because for the most part, you're going to use this panel a lot. So what I'd recommend doing is going through each individual panel here, your display, wallpaper and style, location, all these other things, and just going through and just getting used to this panel. At the very bottom, there's a system settings panel. Click on system and you'll come to this page. What you want to do is at the very bottom, you want to click on system update. Tap on there and you'll come into this panel then. What you're going to want to do, and this is so important, you want to go ahead and basically update your Google Pixel as soon as you buy it. This is by far one of the most important things I'd recommend doing for every single Pixel owner because there's new updates and new changes being added all the time, and you don't want to be like stuck in the past. So go ahead, update your system to the most recent version of software that you can, and that can probably end up, giving you a better experience overall for your Pixel 8. So that is a quick introduction for the most part on how to use your Google Pixel 8. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.